All right, Shalom, Mike. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teach the word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to title this lesson, The Great Humbling, because this is how Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai is going to combat the pride of these people, man. He's going to humble them greatly because we're in a time of great pride. No one in proud, which is Esau eating the so-called white man's in rulership. So that's why the scripture says, as the judge of the city, so are the people. So that attribute has trickled down to just the everyday Babylonian, and we're in a time where the Lord is about to knock them off their high horse, man. By the way of plaguing them. Or it tells the Lord says he's going to beat them down by the way of the plagues. And it's only going to intensify, man. So, this has been a talk of the town concerning, let's just get it. The water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi has gotten so bad that the city temporarily ran out of bottled water to give to residents. See? And as you can see, these events that's taking place on the earth, there is no relief in sight for this world, man. This age. It just shows that we in the midst of the transfer of power. The end of this rulership. So you can see the Lord is breaking the staff of water. It says recent torrential rain coupled with years of water system issues have resulted in a crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, where the city doesn't have enough water to fight fires, flush toilets, or even hand out to residents in need. It said, so, and this only going to testify, this is just in one area. With Flint, that happened in Flint, Michigan, the water was fucked up, and it's only going to intensify. And that's how those different pockets of plagues is going to take place. It's going to be something happening over here on this part of Babylon, and in this part of Babylon, this plague sticks out more, and towards the western side of Babylon, this plague sticks out more. So that's how Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai is beating the shit out of Babylon, man. And the licks is going to get worse and worse and worse, man. But it's an effort to humble you Babylonians, man. You can't even flush the toilet no more, man. That was a luxury in their system. Matter of fact, let's get something before we continue in the article. That was, just something is running, just walking to your faucet and turning some water on. That's a luxury, man. Which we have been numb to it. Think that's just a thing. It's people that still draw water. They got wells and shit. This just something that's, that's a thing here in Babylon the Great. Motherfucker having their air, the house 73 degrees year round. See, all these things are going to be suddenly taken away. This is Revelation 18, verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. See? So, yeah, even the, how they say, the peasants live like kings over here. Because how this shit is set up, Grubhub, DoorDash. And literally everything is at the tip of your fingers. Only thing you got to do is just go to the Play Store and download the app for it, man. That's an actual saying. And that shows that everything has been turned upside down, because that actually became a literal saying. But a breath of fresh air has become figurative. Because ain't no such thing as fresh air under the watch of the so-called white man. You got chemtrails and air pollution, you know. But it says she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. It says so much torment and sorrow give her. See? So now it's going to be traded in with torment and sorrow. You're going to go from sugar to shit overnight. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. And that's the mindset of these elites, starting with these devils, the heads of Edom. But it ultimately trickled down to, like I said, the everyday Babylonian. The scripture says, going back to Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, as the judge of the city, so are the people. So the people got the same mindset. That they're going to continue to prosper. They're going to somehow accomplish their 10-year goals. It says, therefore, shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. See, so that's how the Lord's going to knock you off your high horse, man. Death, mourning. That word, death, because you can't just put it in a category. Because this is the time where death, the ways of death has been broadened. That old show, The 1,000 Ways to Die. Because literally it's a plethora of ways to be put to death in this system, in this lifetime, pretty much. Back in the ancient world, you only had a handful of things. You might have a certain pestilence. You die by the sword, a graven wound, a sword, a bow and arrow, a wild beast. It's only a handful of things to die by. But in this time, it has opened up from a light pole falling on you, a car wreck, the mechanical dog. That's a step up from the beast of the field, and a plethora of other things. That's why I just said death, because that's the results. That's the results. It says and mourning. It says and famine. And you can't act cool when you're hungry, man. No matter how much you try to play it off. Even if somebody offer you something and you too proud to say you ain't hungry, you good, your stomach gonna tell on you. It says, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. See? And that's the climax. That's the icing on the cake, the fire, which is going to be by the way of World War III, those thermonuclear missiles that's going to be shot to the ends of the world, as well as the fire, those laser beams for the chariots, so-called UFOs. This is what the Lord has set up for this place, So going back to the article, let's see. It says Jackson's main water treatment facility began failing Monday. According to Governor Tate Reeves, the National Guard was called up. And as you can see, how Esau rationalized things out, his problem solving, is in the military. The National Guard, that's part of the military, man. It says, and that's how the sword, that lets you know he's the sword. That's how the sword get down. When any type of problem come up, that's who you're going to see, a nigga with army fatigues, motherfucker with an M16, a couple of military vehicles. No matter what the situation is, this nigga called him up to pass out water. That shows you that that's the sword. It says the National Guard was called up to help distribute bottled water as crews worked to get the water treatment plant back online, state officials said. But the distribution itself proved unsustainable. Residents of all ages were seen waiting in lines more than a mile long at Hawkins Field Airport for at least 2 hours Tuesday for just one case of bottled water. See? The event was supposed to span 3 hours, but barely ran 2, as people will eventually turn away when the 700 cases of water ran out. So it's only going to intensify, man. It's not just a one-time thing, a random event. This is the strategic moves of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That great humbling. Because I bet you within that 2-mile line, what it says, how long the line was? A mile long line. I bet it was TikTokers, gamers, you know. It was motherfuckers that were proud, you know, certain women that's been put on a pedestal. You know? And it's only going to intensify. Just going back. This is that great humbling. Matter of fact, is that let's get this in the book of Isaiah 24. Because we're coming to a time where reality is setting in. Long gone the days of trying to just to watch the game to get your mind off the day. You know, a new movie come out and now you back in it. No, man. The Lord is getting everyone's undivided attention, man. All these things that take place, you ain't got no choice but to deal with it now. And you got no choice but to face the plagues of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's why we just hope that the Lord have mercy upon us, because these things are inevitable. Why you think Noah was moved? Because he was shown the things he was shown of things that was not seen as yet. And the plagues, that flood, only way you can escape it was that you had to be in the ark. It wasn't like you can go to high ground. You had to be in that ark, man. And everybody lost it when that first raindrop came. You know, they was put to confusion. The thing that they subscribed to didn't matter then. It was thrown out the window when that rain came. So how much more now, man? Isaiah 24:10, it says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up so that no man may come in. So America is being broken down. We've seen this place being broken down. You know? You know, these other nations are already looking at who's next because, you know, they see the downfall of this place. Even Revelation, the 12th chapter tells that he knoweth that ye have but a short time. It says, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone, see? And no matter how much you try to do to escape reality, guess what? You're going to get a notification concerning the evils. You might feel it. But one way or another, prophecy is going to take effect. And all of us are going to be affected by prophecy. You know, and we just hope that we're play the part of the righteous. You know? So let's get this in the book of Baruch, chapter 4. And in verse 34, it says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. See, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And we are witnessing this process. That process of being proud, you know, to being put down and humbled, man. And it's a plethora of ways the Lord have chosen to do that. And one of those things is the famine. Matter of fact, let's get something real quick to prove that on the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 3. It reads, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. See, so as you can see, one of the humbling agents is the Lord suffering you to hunger, man. So how fitting is that plague? You know, especially the most obese country ever in history, not just in this time, but in history. This, you know, America, this is the source of food eating contests and mukbangs and shit. How fitting is that? And that will contribute to these people that in their pride. They can go get them something to eat at any time, make them feel better, or whatever the case may be. But as you can see, I'm gonna read it again. It says, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. See? And fed thee with manna which thou knowest not. Neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. See? And that's what that's why we're satisfied by the way of the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But the point is, it says the Lord, he humbled thee, and he did that by suffering, thee to hunger. So that's one of the things, man. Oh, going to Isaiah 3 says the Lord is going to break the staff of bread and water. Let's wrap it up with this in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 8 in verse 50, it reads, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. See, so these great miseries were set for an appointed time, the latter time, which is ultimately when Esau's in power. That's when all these prophecies is going to be summed up. The conclusion of the matter, it was going to pretty much take place during the Esau and his rulership. It tells you Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. So it says great miseries is going to come to his place. Shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. See, so these things are going to be for the wicked and those that do wickedly. Those that have pretty much have cleaved on to the ways of this devil, that have pretty much followed his way. It says because they have walked in great pride. So that's how the Lord is going to combat that pride, by the way of great miseries. And we're seeing it. And it's only intensifying. There's certain parts where it's floods and shit in Babylon. But in other parts of Babylon, ain't no damn water. Hey, it's only going to intensify. You might hear reports about beasts of the field attack, which they had a couple days ago. A mailman got mauled to death. Well, that just might be a thing. You just keep hearing reports about animal attacks, and they ain't like they recovering at the hospital. Then they just got put to death, man. They got mauled to death. That might be a new thing that's coming out, because that's part of the plagues as well. The teeth of wild beasts. But we in that great humbling. So I just hope that we're edifying. I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Racha Kodash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach the word in all true faith and sincerity. DTA, abide by ball. Soon. Very soon.